you must get pulled in a lot of different directions. And how do you deal with all of that and the logistics, right? But I'm pretty blessed in the fact that I have a lot of mentors. They know a lot of stuff and know a lot of people, and they're very busy, but they still know how to make you feel like when it's with you that you're present and they make you feel like you're the only person in the room. That's a skill set. And I think they say that President Clinton, President Obama, those kind of skill sets will have. And so I think that's a skill set that it's just basically if you're running all over the place and you're in a meeting and you got to be thinking about 30 different things, how do you focus on getting one thing done? And that one decision and that one meeting you're in now, it's like a major decision. And how do you make that with a busy mind?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a returning guest coming back who is a fan favorite and someone I connected with back in 2015 after earning my MBA, and his continued growth is inspiring to me as an entrepreneur, and I know it will for you too, especially if you're in the Tampa Bay community. So Aakash, great to see you and welcome back to That Entrepreneur Show.
Hey, Vincent, thanks for having me. It's great to see you as always.
Of course. And everyone, be sure to stick around to the end of the show. You're going to want to figure out how to get in touch with him as he serves for Governor DeSantis. He's got his amazing company, Elevate, which we were talking about behind the scenes. And I think that we should dive in right there. Working with different budgets at different times a year, every company does things differently. You work with 6 months contracts, so it's an interesting topic. Let's talk about what worlds you're dealing with right now.
Yeah, we know our business is outsourced business development. So you want to meet more people, we help you connect, whether it's speaking engagements, we book you at events we're hosting for networking purposes, or just connecting you one-on-one through email introductions. And when the school year starts, obviously in Florida, the school year starts in August. A lot of people want to get back to work, right? Because kids are in school, so you got to get back to work. So we have a lot of companies that move here and they start to enroll their kids in school, and then we have a bunch of August customers. And then you have the other side of things where people start, it's a new year, it's 2026. Let's spend that marketing. Let's send that awareness campaign. Let's get out there. Let's call elevating. And so January hits and we get a lot of new clients as well. So right now we're in the overlap because August through February and then January 1 through June or July. So we have a lot of companies that are moving here into the state of Florida and the Tampa area. And it's a great time to be in Florida. It's a great time to work in this kind of business because you can see no matter what happens with the economy, people always want to meet the right people fast.
Yeah. And that's something that you excel at, helping people get there. He's at all the events. If you go on social media when we're done, you're going to be inspired at his networking ability, and something that he taught me a long time ago about LinkedIn. Hey, start 5 new conversations a day, wherever it is, just have those organic conversations. And it helped me a great deal. Now, as you're scaling this business, what are some new challenges with scaling, or what are some tips you can give to other entrepreneurs tuning in today who are at the point of scaling as well?
If you're at the point of scaling, it's just be intentional. Yeah, start every day. Like you do a great job of that, I think, with your posts, when you're messaging. I like to compliment people what's going on. I love reading. So I read local articles and share them on my social media. If there's companies that you want to work with and you watch their company LinkedIn and they've got a new hire or they're looking for someone, I would say share that on your social media and tag them. The other part of it is, I think we just did the planning session with our team, is always try to push yourself, right? So I'll just use an example. We have 35 companies right now that work with us. And that's a great number. That's the most we've ever had in 14 years. February will be 14 years. But I want 40, right? Why not? If I'm already at 30, I used to want 30, now I'm at 35, I want 40 and keep going. It's a stretch goal. And you do a great job of that. And I think for 2026 and challenges, it's just making sure you're focused and you're dealing with the right people.
And that's certainly it. Dealing with the right people helps you forge these amazing relationships. And here, I also want to show love to your other positions, right? You're a very busy guy, but you get to all of these things efficiently and effectively. So I'll ask for tips there, but let's talk about some of the other roles that you're involved in.
Yeah, so I've been sharing for the last 11 and a half years the Early Learning Coalition in Hillsborough County, which for those of you who've heard of VPK, that's volunteer pre-kindergarten. So some states call it pre-K or whatever you call it, but it's providers, which are daycares. They're governed by the state of Florida. So if it's free in the state of Florida, and every county has, or there's 30 coalitions throughout the state. There's 67 counties in the state of Florida. But Early Learning Coalition in Hillsborough County is the 3rd largest coalition in the state of Florida. And so as a chairman, I have a board of 24. I have a CEO. We have about 200 employees, and we have a budget a little over $200 million. And our job is to make sure that every child gets a quality access to education, regardless of their income level. So for me, it's about making sure we're advocating to our legislature because we're funded by the legislature. We are showing up awareness to our school district members, our community leaders, our business leaders. And it's just, as you can imagine, chairing a board, it's making sure you have a team that is actually working and serving. It's a volunteer job. No one gets paid, right? Our CEO, obviously, their staff gets paid. We hire and fire the CEO. So make sure our CEO is in line with our mission, our vision, and our goals. And we got a great CEO, Dr. Fred Hicks. He's been just finished his third year. And I'll be going to Tallahassee to talk to legislators here in a couple of weeks. Session starts, this week, so it's exciting for Floridians. But that's one leadership position I'm proud of. I'm also on the board of the Tampa Bay Economic Development Corporation, EDCs they call them in any city or county. Their job is to recruit the companies to come here. And so it's fun to be part of that conversation. Like, why did I choose Tampa Bay? What are the schools? What are the bars? What are the restaurants? What's the talent going on in the community? I just finished my 4-year term on Hillsborough College's Board of Trustees. So that's a community college. We had 42,000 students. Great experience serving. I thank the governor for allowing me to serve for 4 years. I got 4 years and 2 months. I got a little bonus 2 months. And I don't know what's next, but at the end of the day, I know that one thing is for sure, giving back is important. And so for those of you who are not on nonprofit boards, you know that I didn't go to University of Tampa, but I'm on one of the advisory boards there. I'm on the board of fellows. I'm on the steering committee. We'd love to get you to do an event sometime soon here. Planning things in those organizations and taking leadership roles, raise your hand. Get a volunteer, whether it's your church, whether it's your alumni organizations, whether it's a group you started, just do something outside of work. Work will come from it.
Oh my gosh, so beautifully said there. And now, with all of these amazing things that you're involved with, what do you do to take care of yourself, Akash? As entrepreneurs, what are some things that work well for you so we can add a few tools to our guests and listeners' tool chests?
Well, I think everyone should do something that's physical and something to keep them sharp. I like yoga and Pilates, so I try to do that every week. I also like cold plunge and sauna, and I try to do that every week. I recently, I guess it's a trend for a long time, but I'm a late bloomer. I recently took up pickleball. I play pickleball with friends on weekends. So something to keep you active, something you can go for a walk. And I have an Oura ring, and I track my sleep. I track my heart rate. I make sure I get my steps in, right? The most important thing is you're not just sitting dormant, you're doing something active, whatever's easy. Whether you're watching TV, as long as you're like lifting weights or doing something while you're watching TV, that's okay too. But it's what you fit. And then just, this, right? You got to eat healthy, right? It's so easy for us when you go to these events and sometimes you eat out and you just eat junk, or you go to a sporting event and you just eat the food that's not the healthiest, but you really got to take care of your diet too. And then, like I said, just if you're out there, just make sure you're safe.
I love the movement recommendation. After my accident, I don't really run or do things like that. So I'm envious, but I became a big biker. As in Florida, there are
Yeah.
tons of amazing trails and you can stay off the roads with the crazy drivers, right? So those are always a lot of fun. As far as cold plunge, I spent my winter up in New York with the family. And when it hit those 10 degrees, 20 degrees, I'm outside taking a short walk. That was like my little plunge where it just wakes me up, slaps me in the face. I absolutely love the ambition and what you're sharing here on the show. Everyone, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss amazing entrepreneurs like this. And I know with Elevate, you're a big Tampa figure, and I know you love Tampa. All of your posts got the Tampa hashtags, all that stuff. What are some of events that, say there's someone new to Tampa or moving to Tampa? You're very involved in the ecosystem, especially entrepreneurs. What are some events or some things people should do right away when they move to Tampa as a business owner?
So number one, I like to do this. Join your local chamber of commerce. They've got like a coffee connection. It doesn't cost much. It's pretty cost effective. Go to the event. Try to meet 10 new people. If you try to meet 10, you'll meet 5. The 2 most important people at an event like that, right, is going to be the sponsor. There's always a sponsor. Someone's going to pay for the coffee, right? And there's always an organizer. In this case, it's a chamber. So talk to the people that are giving you the name tags, right? How are you? What are you up to? How long have you been at the chamber? Ask them questions. The best part about it is they know everyone in that room. So tell them what you're looking for. Ask them if they know anyone in the room that could fit that mold. If you're in construction, you're looking for an architect. Hey, I'm in construction. Do you know any architects? Oh, yeah, I'm the organizer. I have these people. And then the biggest thing with sponsors at these events, they write the check so people know their business. They get a little pitch at the beginning so they can say what they do. Thank the sponsor. Walk up, thank them, take a picture with them, put it on social media. Because why are sponsors writing the check? To get attention. And so when you give them that attention, they appreciate it and they also remember you. And by the way, if they have a check for writing that event, they'll have a check for something else. And they're most likely are going to have other events. And guess what? They're going to invite you. And so that's what I tell people all the time is don't forget the most important people in the room are the organizers and the sponsors.
That's an amazing tip, everyone. I hope you found the value in that as well, because it can be overwhelming going into big rooms to network, but having a plan and being strategic is always very important, right? You want to make sure you're going with a clear call to action. As he said, hey, are you looking for an architect? Let's make that immediate bridge there so we're not wasting time. I absolutely love that. As we look ahead into 2026, what are some things you're excited to work on?
Honestly, like I was saying, just trying to get some new companies, new industries. So that's the thing, right? It's like when you've done this for now 14 years, February 1st, I've done this for 14 years. And the funniest thing is, there are some companies that I've worked with that I never in a million years that I thought I would be able to have the opportunity to work with. So now it's more about, okay, now that I know I can do it, now it's like, how do I get to the next level? So I'll give you a good example. A lot of companies move to Tampa, right? They want to make a big splash, right? So we heard about this new company, a huge company that's in the pharma industry coming to Tampa. And they're on the same floor as the Tampa Club, which is in downtown, where I'm on their board as well. And I was a president a couple years ago. And I met with them and I was like, man, this is a global entity. Like the CEO is a big deal. I'm like, we just met him at the event, had coffee, drinks, chatted a little bit. Now they're a customer. But it took a little while to get to that point. My point is that if you don't ask, you don't get. So now I go back to, you asked me what I was going to do in 2026. I want to push myself to get to 40 companies, but the right companies. So we're blessed. You and I are blessed where we can now guide the kind of industries we want to work with, right? So if you don't have a finance customer, let's go after a bank, right? If you're not on the board of a nonprofit, go join a nonprofit board. If you're not on a paid board, try to work on getting a paid board. You're a speaker. People pay you to speak. People buy your books. So you do book signings. If you try for 5, go for 10. So to answer your question, I think this year I want to try to work with some new companies. I want to do some more paid speaking gigs, and I also want to make sure that I get the right placements on these boards that I want to get on.
A lot of great points there. Specifically, you said work with the right companies. What are some tips you could provide to people tuning in today to avoid going after just a quick paycheck? Of course, I made that mistake, didn't take the right type of client, learned a severe lesson learned, but what are some tips you can offer through your success?
A lot of research, right? You look at their LinkedIn, look at who they know, look at their pages, look at articles. So Google is a great thing, right? Google the local business journal articles or the Tampa Times, whatever paper you use, read about them. And then also ask questions, like simple questions. Has a company ever been in trouble for XYZ? No. Okay, cool. And then with simple things like, what do you want out of a relationship with a firm like Elevate Inc? Oh, want to meet more people. Okay, why? What do you want to do with those hooks? What's the end game and what's the goal? It's logistically speaking, and yeah, and I set up payment terms up front. This are the terms. We got to get paid. It's a contract, right? It's a verbal contract. It's actually a paper contract. So my other thought process is to your point is just have that conversation, and you can judge body language and you can judge character after a few conversations.
I love that, doing your due diligence, and that's something that in a go world, stop and ask the right questions, and of course, learn from all of our lessons learned. Now, I'd love to, because you're so big in Tampa, if you could shout out another Tampa entrepreneur or Tampa business that is absolutely crushing it right now, who do you want to show some love to?
You know him as well as I do. I'm a big fan of Nick Friedman from College Hunks, Hauling Junks. Nick and Omar, who started that company. They're a Tampa success story, started it right here. We're huge through the hurricane, meaning they helped so many people during the hurricanes a couple years ago. But they just hit their 20-year anniversary. They had a great documentary how they've helped people during the hurricane. And it's Tampa home and grown. I love the fact that they're entrepreneurs and they're mentors to me. And they were past clients of mine.
Yeah, I think Tampa, as I travel and I spend time in different places, there's still nowhere like Tampa, right? Unfortunately, I have an extra layer of trauma there that has changed things a bit, but of course, it's led me to amazing connections like Aakash, and that's just stepping outside my comfort zone, taking a chance, trying to network with people, and then here we are now, many years later, still connecting and being in touch. We talked about scaling before, Akash. If you could give a piece of advice to a newer entrepreneur who's heard this episode today, super inspired, but the whirlwind in the beginning, there's a million things to do. What are some things they should focus on in the beginning?
So you just said it, how you stay in touch with people. So be intentional and stay in touch. And I always, when I started my business, I took a piece of paper and a notepad everywhere I went, wrote things down when I would ask for advice because people are giving me their time. Remember, time is valuable, and people giving you time is very important. But I also believe people will always give you a little bit of time. No one is too busy for coffee. They'll have it, but it might take a long time to schedule. Any CEO, right? Any executive. So what I would do is I would say, hey, listen, it was great meeting you. Give me 2 books that I should be reading, and who are 2 people that I need to know in this town? You don't have to make an introduction because I know that's your business or I know that's going to put you out of place, but who are 2 people I should know? And then figure out how to meet them. And so that's my philosophy is I would have meetings with no agendas just to get to know people and be intentional and then stay in touch every 6 months. Hey, we met for coffee 6 months ago. You told me to read this book. I just want to say thank you. It was a great book. Appreciate it. By the way, can we get coffee again next year? Let's do it once a year or something. And that will build some connectivity, and then obviously things will happen.
Yeah, that's amazing advice, and something even as I've over the years given me advice over the years as I come out of my kids' books and all those stuff where it's always meant so much. I know everyone tuning in has gotten a lot of value here today, but I'm interested to see if things have changed, Akash, since your last show. If you could pick any entrepreneur, dead or alive, to have a conversation with right now who you don't know yet, who would you sit down with?
Well, that's a great question. I just still think, honestly, like I'm a big believer in like time management. A lot of people are busy, but I think one time I told you Bill Gates. I think Mark Zuckerberg is being interesting too. Similar story. Obviously, he's a successful entrepreneur, but he must get pulled in a lot of different directions. And how do you deal with all of that and the logistics, right? But I'm pretty blessed in the fact that I have a lot of mentors. They know a lot of stuff and know a lot of people, and they're very busy, but they still know how to make you feel like when it's with you that you're present, and they make you feel like you're the only person in the room. That's a skill set. I think they say that President Clinton, President Obama, those kind of skill sets will have. And so I think that's a skill set that it's just basically if you're running all over the place and you're in a meeting and you got to be thinking about 30 different things, how do you focus on getting one thing done? And that one decision and that one meeting you're in now, it's like a major decision. And how do you make that with a busy mind? So how do you kind of compartmentalize as the answer to this question? So I want to learn that better when reading books. And obviously the cold plunge and things like that help, but it's just the busier you are, you've got to realize that you got to prioritize.
Yeah, and it's something that will remain a constant challenge for me and ever challenge, right? With every day, something new comes up, a new challenge, something doesn't work. Even as I put out TBI Recovery, I think it's my seventh or eighth Amazon book, and I still can't get the upload correct the first time. I still have to find another partner to get the dimensions right. So just again, network is key, research, do all those things. But if you could pick the location for you and Mr. Zuckerberg to sit down, where would you be?
I would say his office. That'd be cool to see. Yeah, just because when you think about it, reading about someone's origin story is different than someone explaining it.
Yeah. And I think I love the response when people choose like their home base where they feel comfortable, because I think that's where you're going to get the most value from that conversation. And Akash, I can't thank you enough for making some more time here. I know we didn't have the Bucks season. You're a big Bucks fan, and I know you go to a lot of those games. Do you use that as like a networking opportunity, or are you there for more for fun, or both?
But like this year, luckily, I had a couple of different prospects invite me to the suites. And so I took clients of mine, so that's a business. And then I had one time I just used it to take some friends. And I think the point of that is it's just wherever you are in this town, it's a small town. Tampa's a big city, but a smaller city, relatively speaking, you'll run into people. So I know no matter I'm wearing a Bucks hat, I'm wearing my Bucks shirt, I'm always giving high fives. Yeah, go Bucks, good touchdown. And specifically because the board that I chair, the Early Learning Coalition in Hillsborough County, the last 3 years, Baker Mayfield and his wife Emily have been donating to our nonprofit every year, and over $380,000 total. So I've had the privilege of getting to know them and talk to them, and they're passionate about children just like I am. They have one child and one on the way. So I think that obviously makes it more even. Not only am I watching them win on the field or whatever, but I actually see them win off the field with this charity donations and the community leadership. So the last few years are really special.
I absolutely love that. Big shout out to Baker and all the great things he's doing for Tampa Bay. Not like Tom Brady did when he came in and did that Super Bowl during COVID, but I know he's beloved, and I really appreciate hearing stories of celebrities who do have that give back component and everything involved there. Gosh, where can we find you online? Everyone, again, remember to subscribe so you wouldn't miss a show like today where the value is endless.
Sure. So it's Aakash Patel on LinkedIn, at Patel Times on X, and it's A Patel _ Times on Instagram. And our website is elevate-inc.com or tampahaswagger.com.
And there it is. He represents Tampa all the time. I absolutely love that. Everyone, my name is Vincent A. Lancey, and I want to thank you for tuning in to keep the show a top 2.5% global podcast on Listen Notes. You can find us on all social media. And today we are brought to you by Coming Alive Podcast Production.com. Be sure to head to the website to start your journey today. And with that, we're signing off on this special Tampa episode. Akash, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Vincent, for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode. I would love to hear your feedback. What did you love? What do you want to see more of? Are there any questions you would like me to ask the guests who come on the show? This show is not possible without you, the amazing listeners, so please email us at podcastsbylancy@gmail.com and let us know what you think. We'll also feature you on a later show. Please remember to subscribe to stay current with our amazing community of guests who will continue to come on the show, sprinkled in with solo episodes from me, Vincent A. Lancy. With that, I look forward to introducing more shows to you each and every week. And with that, we're signing off today. Enjoy the episodes and make it a great day ahead.